If you look at what we were doing before, all we were looking at was a pie chart of how many people started a course and how many people dropped out a course.
Before we used to mark a lot of these down on paper, then we'd have to transfer it to a computer.
It's wasted inputting information 2 or 3 times onto military systems.
It's not particularly smart. But what Competence really does is it puts into the hands of those who need it most the data that's going to help them get their recruits better and up to the standards we need. I think this is helping us to create the sort of army of the future that we know we're going to need.
The Competence app has seamlessly integrated the target model, the criteria that we use to evaluate a recruit. It doesn't just look at very narrow performance indicators, it looks at the whole performance of that individual. So we're looking at the social, the psychological, the physical, and the tactical and technical.
A recruit self-assesses their performance for that week and their commander assesses their performance for that week.
Competence doesn't replace human interaction. You still need section commanders and platoon commanders who are going to look their recruits in the eye and really understand everything about them. But Competence enhances that interaction, but helps evidence and also helps explain some of the things that the section commanders might be seeing themselves. So take, for example, a bad performance on a particular day. But why was it bad? What were they feeling? Have we checked their wellness that morning? Have we found something else that when we look at the data, that could help explain?
Those that are possibly afraid to go to their section commander with any issues, they're able to tell us how they're feeling and they can then talk to them, have the face-to-face, whereas previously we probably wouldn't have got that information until 2-3 days later. The app enables us to have more meaningful conversations with the recruits.
That's really powerful and will help us to know our soldiers just that little bit better. Feedback is really important for the current generation. That allows you to give feedback almost instantaneously.
It's making them better recruits because they can see where they're going wrong, they can see where they need to improve.
Whilst you might think, oh, I'm not doing so well in this, and put yourself down, you actually might be doing well.
We can look at any disconnects between how the recruit feels they're performing and how the commander feels they're performing.
Look back on week 1, week 2, see where you were mentally and see what you've overcome, especially on those low points.
What this really allows us to do is to go into detail about the journey of each individual recruit. We really build up a picture about how this particular person has performed and how we've helped them to get to the standard they need. That's really powerful.
Competence is a game changer when it comes to saving permanent staff time.
Think about being on the range. Instead of having to collate the butt registers and go back and put it into different spreadsheets, wouldn't it be good if the junior NCO who's collecting the scores there and then has put it in at the point of firing? Brilliant.
The large number of recruits we have, leaving a lot of feedback on paper normally is quite difficult, writing notes, but the great feature about the app is you can talk to it. As we give feedback to the recruits, we can talk to the app at the same time, so we're doing 2 jobs in one, making the job a lot easier rather than writing the notes down on a piece of paper, then transferring it to the computer later.
Discipline is quite a laborious process and perhaps interventions are made which aren't then recorded properly. But this is really important stuff.
Disciplines are recorded very efficiently on the app. We're able to implement training interventions at the touch of a button.
By using Competence, we can get junior NCOs to use the discipline process properly and the interventions be made in the way that we wanted them to be done.
I'm working around my computer, checking emails, answering phone calls. I can check my phone or my tablet. If I've seen that there's been a discipline issue, and I know straight away. Later on that afternoon when they return, I can then get that recruit into the office and find out if there's any underlying issues.
It's just a good example of how Competence is really revolutionising how we conduct our business in basic training.
It's not just recruit performance, but organisational performance. What we need is really relevant and timely data, and the Competence app is a game changer from that point of view. It enables us to analyse data, to evaluate the training and to make improvements to the training as we deliver it. There are so many applications to this in terms of integrating our management systems in the Army and scaling up to different environments. It provides us with the opportunity to become a more evidence-based and effective organisation, and that is exactly what a learning organisation should be.
in the future can play a huge part in basic training, not only in basic training, but potentially initial trade training and throughout the field army.
It's just such an easier, more effective way to gain this information.
The feedback is very good. It's very user-friendly.
Ultimately, we're getting a better recruit at the end of the training by using the app. It's helping the recruits' experience massively.
It's enabled us to achieve a lot more in such a short space of time.
I think the potential for competence is limitless.
So where do we go in the future? Well, wouldn't it be a great thing if not only we captured this information in basic training, but we pass that information to the next step of a recruit's journey into their trade schools and perhaps even beyond. So if we could create this pathway of data, I think that's a really revolutionary change that would make all our work so much better.